Okay, hi grade nines. How you doing? So this is lesson two. Pretty simple video. I'm only going to switch to the very next slide here. And what we're doing is we're translating our English phrases, okay? Last video, I tried to show you how to, identify some keywords, highlight them, have them sort of jump or pop out at you. But let's actually get into what this would look like from a math perspective. And again, um, we're going to bear in mind, we're going to keep in mind what symbols can we use here, okay? Well, we can do the less than symbol. Let me just get back to my pen here. Less than or equal to, greater than, or equal to. Okay? So let's start with the first one. It says more than 370 students went on the field trip. Okay? Now, part of this is you have to choose a variable. Now, you can keep it real simple. You could choose X every single time. I like to mix it up just, to keep my brain stimulated. We're talking about the number of students, so I'm going to go with n. Now, in this case, we're talking about the number 370. So you notice I've left a gap here. What's the appropriate symbol? In other words, the number n, the number of students represented by n, has to be what? Greater than 370, not equals to. This phrase doesn't mean 370 students. It doesn't say 370 students or more went on the field trip. It said more than 370 students. So 370 students is not a correct answer. It's like 371. That's a possibility. If you're interpreting this correctly, 372, 373. But we know that more than 370. So n, in other words, we're not going to use this. We're not going to use greater than or equals to. That would be inappropriate. Okay? Again, it's because of the way the English, what the word means. So I'd say the toughest part of this unit is actually in the beginning, in the sense of you have to get really good. And that's why I exaggerated in my slides. Mr. Smith is going to do a billion examples. You really do have to practice it. Okay, you must be at least 120 centimeters tall. So I went with N here. I'm going to go with H here, H for height. So I'm going to say H, okay, H, sorry, that kind of looks like an N again. I'm going to just decrease my pen size here. Just bear with me a sec, guys. Okay, so I'm going to go with H. All right, H, let's just see if, there we go, that's a little bit better. Okay, so H, I've got to be at least 120 centimeters. But if I'm 120 centimeters, just the way this is worded, am I allowed to go on the ride? It says at least 120. And the answer is yes. So H is going to be greater than or equal to 120. So I hope you're able to compare these two sentences and see the difference. Okay? This one implies, right? It implies that if you're 120 centimeters, you're good to go. You can go on the ride. You must be 13 or over. I guarantee you, if you have the word or, let's just go back to, I think this slide will do it. Remember, the word or is here. So if you see the word or, that's a clue to use one of these symbols. So 13 or over. Let's go with A for age. So your age must be greater than or equal to 13. Okay? Okay, just for the heck of it, I'm going to just switch colors. You must be 65 or older. So again, let's do age. You must be 65 or older. Okay, so if you are 65, you can depend. You don't have to wait till you're 66. It says you can be 65 or over. All right. The fish must be between 20 centimeters and 40 centimeters to be kept for eating. Okay. So let's talk about K here. This is our first combo, and I'll slow it down here. There are two conditions here. So you got to do sort of an exercise on one hand and on the other hand, and then you're going to glue it together. Okay. For the purposes of this video, I'm gonna show you a simple way, and then I'll show you the more complicated way in a later video. Okay. But for now, the fish must be between 20 centimeters and 40 centimeters. So K must be greater than, I guess, you know what? I don't like K. Sorry. Let's use length, okay? L. Length, it has to be greater than 20. Okay. So let's pause. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to pause the video because of my lights and some people are leaving the building. Anyways, I was saying the length is okay. I had to pause there for a second. I was talking about the length. The length has to be greater than 20 centimeters at the same time. So we're just going to put in a comma here. At the same time, the length must also be less than 40. Okay. All right. The length. So again, when it's a combination, two things can be true. You can just write in length has to be greater than 20. At the same time, the length has to be less than 40. Okay. That's how you do a combo. All right. That's how you do a combo. All right. This is a combination equality. There's two conditions that you have to be able to recognize and put in here. Okay. Later on, I'll teach you how to write this as one inequality. Okay. Children 5 or under are free. That suggests an age thing. So let's go with age. Let's go with age. And this time we're going to use less than or equal to be 5. So if the children are 5 or and under, they're good to go. Shada needs to buy some pencils and erasers. She cannot spend more than 9. She cannot. Okay. Now you see how English gets all backwards and messes you up, right? You think more than is the same as greater than. But you got to remember, be on the lookout for the word not, because the not reverses, it flips the meaning. She cannot spend more than $9. So I don't know. What do you want to call it? Let's call it D for dollars. So her dollar spending must be less than or equal. She can spend the full 9. So that's why you can have or equals to, right? If she has $9, she can spend the full $9. You must have at least $50,000 to buy this house. So again, I'll put that's really a deposit in real life mortgages, but D for dollars, D for deposit. You must have at least, okay, equals to your deposit or dollars must be equal to at least 50,000, or it can be more. It can be greater than, okay? So D for dollars. Your speed limit, let's use S for speed. The speed limit, okay, you can be less than 110 or you can equal 110. Now, a side note in real life, guys, if you are going 40 kilometers an hour down the Queen Elizabeth Highway between Edmonton and Calgary, you're going to get pulled over, okay? This is actually, you really should do a combination inequality here, but we'll leave it. You're allowed a maximum of 10 gigabytes of data per month. So let's use capital D for data, okay? So data, okay, it's got to be less than or equal to 10. Okay, I'm just going to switch colors now just to keep mixing it up here. So let's go with blue. You must complete the test in 50 minutes or less. So time, right? We're going to use time, T for time. I'm not using quotes on the rest of these, but anyways, time is going to be less than, or you can use the full 50 minutes, okay? You see how many times that we're using that or equals to? You must sell at least 35 newspapers. Okay, S for sales. So the sales, so least in this case doesn't mean less, right? Least actually implies the opposite. In other words, your sales have to be bigger than 35, but they could also be equal to 35 to get your little bonus money, okay? That's a way of motivating people to be good sellers, right? At least 35, that means 35 is good enough for your bonus. We would like to raise $10,000 or more for charity. Let's go back to small d for dollars. So in this case, dollars must be greater than or equal to, we did say we'd be happy with 10,000, okay? I guess technically I shouldn't use that comma because we're metric. Okay, here is a combo. So let's use T for temperature. So in other words, only if it's colder than 0 degrees. So T must be less than 0, right? So I guess we'll do it over here. T must be less than 0, but at the same time, right? It's got to be warmer than negative 20, right? You can't have you're not going to go out in really cold weather. So T has to be greater than, okay? There's no or equals to in this. It says it has to be colder than 0, so less than 0 and greater than negative 20. Okay? All right. The level, so another combo here. The level of water must always be between. So let's use H for height. The level of water must be between 8 and 15 meters. So the height has to be greater than, it doesn't say, it says between. So technically, to interpret this really strictly, you can't have 8 meters. It says between 8 meters. So hopefully you'd have like 8.1 or even 8.09. So there's no or equals to here. The height cannot equal 8 meters exactly. It has to be greater than 8. But at the same time, the height also has to be less than 15. So this is another Goldilocks zone question. Okay? I didn't have to include the units there, but whatever. All right? No, I'm not going to erase it. I'll just keep going. Tire pressure must be at least 34. So another combo question. Okay, actually, I'll switch this to bright pink. Okay. So another combo question. So the pressure, we'll just use P for pressure. The pressure, right? The pressure must be at least 34. So it can be greater than or equal to 34. But at the same time, you can't overinflate these tires. The pressure must be, the pressure should be no more than 40, but it could be 40. So it's got to be less than or equals to 40 is acceptable. It says no more than 40, which means if you hit it 40 on the nose, you're good. The pressure of your tires can be 40. Okay, the pressure can be 34. Humans should eat less than 800, at least. Oh, see, I misread it there. Humans should eat at least 800 calories. So if we hit 800, we're good, right? That's supposed to be a 0 there. So let's use C for calories. Calories is supposed to be at least, so it has to be equal to 800 or greater than. Obviously, if you eat 900, you're good. Okay, 1100, you're good. 914, you're good. Last two, let's just switch it up one more time. Let's go with green. Okay, the golf course. Oh, here is a combo, and the very last one's a combo. Okay, temperature again. Let's use T for temperature. The temperature, okay, has to be only if the temperature is 5 degrees or warmer. Okay, so it has to be 5 degrees greater than or equal to 5 degrees, comma. Second condition, it has to be less than 40. So no or equals to, we don't want it to be 40. It has to be less than 40, right? It didn't say 40 or less. It said less than 40. So 40 degrees would not be acceptable for this golf course, right? 39.9 is good. 40.0, I know it's splitting hairs. It's really small difference, right? This is another age question, so let's go with A. You must be between, there's your key word. So guess what? If you have to be between 7 and 17, then you can't be 17, you can't be 7 years old and you can't be 17. So your age has to be greater than 7, not equal to 7. But what if the kid is 7 years and 1 day? Yeah, I guess technically they should be allowed to go, right? See, I'm serious. It is part of this is interpretation. Okay, and you have to be also less than 17, right? Okay. Well, I hope my billion examples helped you wrap your head around this. Okay, feel free to review, and next thing we'll go on to is graphing these. Okay, take care, grade 9s. Thanks. Have a good one.